Hey, it's J.Bullett. If you follow me on TikTok, I said I was going to do this video breaking down what WWE needs to fix for Smackdown. I have my notes here. Let's just get right to it. The booking number one. The booking, they have this habit of booking main events and booking matches where they end in disqualifications, right? You hype this thing up, and it's mainly on the shows, the regular TV shows, where it ends in a disqualification. And I don't mind sometimes the distractions, but there's always a distraction, right? And or a count out. You're bumming down the audience at that point. So it's like you hype this thing up, and then all of a sudden it's just like we're going home like. So what they try to do is just have a baby face or something just come up in the end after the disqualification or after the distractions and stuff like that. And it's just like, how many times are we gonna do that? And it's getting a little old, right? So the booking is number one that they need to fix a little bit. The writing, my God, going into what I was talking about, uh, the interferences, the disqualifications, right? The countouts, the roll ups. I could go on and on. The repeated stories with different feuds. Tell better stories. Why are we repeating these stories? I don't know why. It's just like it's getting a little old, you know? Oh, group. Um, One on one with this guy. They don't like him. Let's all go out there and just distract him. Guy gets distracted. Either he wins or he loses. The, depending on how they feel that day, you know? Or here's a good one. The distraction happens. The good guy is distracted. Then somehow the bad guy gets distracted. So the good guy rolls him up and wins. How many times have we seen that? A lot of times. Right? Okay. So better writing. You have to fix that. Better storytelling. Right back to this point. So storytelling. They repeat these a lot. Um, let's say a champion. They always go back to this thing where everybody gets a title shot. You know? That's not storytelling. You just go up to a wrestler and then you're like, I want your belt. I wants to fight. Okay. Challenge accepted. Like, dude, there was no there were no one-on-one, number one contender matches. Whatever happened to those? Having number one contender matches. I haven't seen those in a while. They've been doing those here and there when they're doing tournaments and stuff, but like, when have we ever seen someone in a hot streak and then another wrestler having a hot streak, like a babyface and a heel having hot streaks, and then they somehow have to do this match where, okay, you want the belt, you want the belt. Here's what we're gonna do. You two have a match, number one contenders match. Whatever happened to that? They don't do those anymore. AEW does, but WWE, I don't remember when was the last time they even done that. Maybe they have. It's so much wrestling. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but to my knowledge, I'm being really serious. When have they really done that? Hey, I may be an idiot and don't know what I'm talking about. They did one like last week, but I doubt it. Or last month. I don't think they haven't done that in a while, to be honest with you. Um, Stop repeating feuds. Okay. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. They've been going on since literally a little bit before WrestlePalooza, right? Okay. Cody was away for like what, a couple weeks? Then he came back. They've been doing this feud for that long, and Drew McIntyre has lost. What are we doing? And then the whole rumor is they're doing a 3 stages of hell. Cool. And that might be on tonight's SmackDown. So stay tuned to that. Sorry if I spoil you, but I think that's what's gonna happen. So let's see. That's interesting. That's definitely changing something. Okay, at 3 stages of hell, we haven't seen that. Sorry, 3 stages of hell. We haven't seen that in a while. So That should be interesting. But yeah, and then the whole Damian Priest and Aleister Black. They've been going on for 300 years. Why are we still doing that? You know, they did the mixed tag team match. Rhea somehow just got in there, and then it was just like, okay, now we're still on this. Dude, why are we doing this? And then let's say if they go, let's say these guys had a feud, right? They go, and then all of a sudden they're right back to the same guy that they were wrestling before. What are we doing? We have enough. There's enough people on the roster to do this, you know. And I'm gonna get to my point with that. But let's do this one. Stop relying on older wrestlers. We have younger guys on there and women. Why is it that they keep going back with? Okay, John Cena, I understand. He planned this out. We haven't seen him in a while before, and then he did this whole retirement tour thing. That was acceptable. I accept that. Brock Lesnar. Okay, we didn't see him for 2 years because of the whole thing with the Janelle Grant thing, and he comes back, and it's like, all right, you know, we have, Roman Reigns hasn't been on. He's not. I wouldn't say an old wrestler, but you get the gif. Like, let me just say this: Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, John Cena, but now he's retired. Rey Mysterio. I'm sure there's more. Maybe Sheamus. You can put him up there. Drew McIntyre. AJ Styles. All these guys are in their 40s. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that one. They're in their 40s. And it's like, dude, okay, it's okay to have these guys. I'm not saying it's terrible to have these 40-year-olds on on these shows and stuff, but you see these guys more than what you see the younger guys. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. That's just my take on that one. Now, what needs to be fixed on SmackDown? The tag team division. What happened to that? That thing was on fire. Everything was good. We had so many tag teams. Everybody was wanted. We had number one contender matches. Like I said, that's how long ago that's been. We were doing something. It was hot. And now all of a sudden, I'm sorry, but ever since the Wyatt Six won tag team titles, it's just like everything has just been downhill. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We have the tag teams, we honestly do, but it's the lack of using them. What are they doing with them? Are people hurt that we don't know about? You know, I literally just went into the SmackDown rosters, list, and I saw a couple people hurt, but the tag teams I'm talking about, they're not even listed as hurt. So what are they doing? What happened to the tag team division? Raw, Raw. We all know what happened. What was going on with Raw? Raw's tag team division has been sucking for a long time, but then all of a sudden, we have the SmackDown division, tag team division going bad as well. I don't get it. The women's division, Jade Cargill's champion, right? Who is she feuding with? Okay, of course some of you are gonna say Michin. Okay, but every week what she's doing is she's coming out. Before they did the whole Michin thing, she came out. She said what she said. I'm that bitch. Okay. Walked away, just staring at everybody in the back, intimidating them. She had a match with B-Fab. Mediocre, whatever. Um, and then every week she's been having this thing with Michin because she keeps punking B-Fab. And the way B-Fab and her are looking at each other, something tells me I think Jade Cargill's gonna have a group. Remember the baddies? I think that's what they were called. The baddies over at AEW. I think that might happen again. You heard it here first. I don't know if anybody else has said it out there, but I'm pretty sure that might happen. It's the way she keeps looking at her every week. If you notice, every time her and Michin get into something, or her and BFAB look at each other and then Mijin comes in. It's like she keeps looking from a distance. It's just like thinking. I don't know. Something's there. I could be wrong, but something's there. Um, but yeah, Jade Cargill's champion and she's barely doing anything. It was the same thing with Tiffany Stratton. She was having matches. She did more than what Jade Cargill's doing right now. Let's be honest. So I don't know. Let's keep this ball rolling, man. We don't need this title just being a whatever title because the same thing is going on with Chelsea's Green United States Championship. What are they doing with that? Apparently, they don't even care about it. So why did you even make the belt? You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. They're doing more with the IC title over there on the women's side of Raw than what they're doing with the United States women's side over here. I don't know what is going on. It just doesn't make sense. Why make things if why create things or make things and then you don't do anything with it? It's like you're just doing it for the hell of it. You need more main eventers. Going back to my point with repeated feuds and repeating matches. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. How many times are we gonna see this? Before Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, it was John Cena and Cody Rhodes. At least John Cena was feuding with different people. You know, when he won the belt, he was feuding with Cody. He won the belt. Then he had Randy Orton. You know, you had R-Truth in there, but I don't think they fought for the belt. You had CM Punk in there, right? You had different people, but I don't know. Cody has just been doing this dance with Drew for a while, and before Drew, it was John Cena. What is going on? That's another one. That's just very strange. No. Very mediocre, his reign again. His reign wasn't bad, the first one, but this one is like, I don't know. You need more main eventers, okay? And now I'm gonna name the SmackDown roster, and each name I go by, I'm gonna say something about them. Okay? Let's just do this. Here we go. Alba Fire. Alba Fire. She could be doing more in the women's division. Let's be honest. She was Kaylee Ray down in NXT. She was a world champion over there. She was on fire. She had the belt for a while. Why? Is she's okay, I don't mind her being a lackey for Chelsea Green. I don't mind her being in the group. But you're not doing anything with her. You know? She was doing well in NXT UK. Then she went to NXT. Won a tag team title, right? She won the tag team. Then she went to the main roster and won a tag team there also. But then lost it and then just been all over the place. Tag team, she got released. Then they just put her in this group. I don't know what they're doing with Alba Fire. She could be doing way more. She could be doing stuff in the women's division. Again, build stars around Jade to fight. You want challengers? Let's put these women to work. What are we doing? But Alba Fire, that's the one I kept saying on my TikTok videos. If you watch me, you see I've talked about Alba Fire twice. She's one of the people where they should be doing something with. Aleister Black, he's in a repeated feud with Damian Priest. He should be a main eventer, one of the main eventers, or even in the mid card. Put him in the mid card and put him between the mid card and the main event scene like that. Flippy flop, you know. Have him in the mid card scene if you don't want to put him in the main event, right? But he can be a main eventer. He doesn't necessarily have to always go for the belt. He could just be a main eventer just to be a main eventer. You could be a main eventer without a title. It's the truth. You can be a main eventer. Look at Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. That's the perfect example. You don't need a belt to be a main eventer. You could go up against main eventers. You can lose to them, but you can win some. It's ways of booking that. But whatever. What the hell do I know? Alex Shelley and Chris Sabian, tag team. Motor City Machine Guns. What the hell are they doing? Last time we saw them. Sorry, was that traditional Survivor Series tag team match. Ever since then, we haven't seen them. It's like they're gone. What have they doing before that? Nothing. Stresses me out, but that's my point of fixing the tag team division. Those two. Well, that one specific tag team. Okay, at least they're doing something with the women's tag team division. So I'm naming Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They're doing something, all right. They're gonna go back to being, single stars, of course. Why wouldn't you do that? But for now, let them do this. Let them put some shine into the tag team division for the women's side. I'm on board with that. Okay, Angel and Berto. What the hell is going on with them? Where are they? I don't know. It looked like they had some momentum, and then they just forgot about them. And they won tag team titles over AAA, and then I don't know what happened after that. They just disappeared. Also, another point of the tag team division. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. What happened to the Street Profits? What happened? They had this edge. Remember, they came back and they were all kind of acting heelish. Nothing after that. Don't know what the hell happened to them. Moving on, because I'm gonna stress out here. Apollo Crews. He definitely has a lot of weaknesses, but you know what? He's a good wrestler. So exploit those weaknesses and use him. Use him to lose against mid carders. Leave him in the mid card scene. Have him be that guy to lose to people who's trying to get to the U.S. title. Have him have great matches. Have him win a couple matches. You have jobbers on there. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. I love R-Truth, but he's one of them. But do something with Apollo Crews. When they did the whole thing with his character, when he was being this Nigerian king, I guess, or whatever he was doing, he was showing some character. He did something with that. But after that, it's just they went back, and he's just a ghost. He's in the back. He's literally doing nothing. Eating catering, I guess. I don't know. How he's still on the roster, don't know. But not to say that he needs to be released, but do something with him. But I'm surprised they haven't let him go. That's what I mean by that. Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They've been on TV. They've been teasing this thing where they want their hands on Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They were whining last week about getting their hands on them. So, I don't know. Maybe tonight we'll get something on that, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Again, I don't want to stress over this tag team. It's like, dude, what are we doing? BFAB. I mentioned BFAB before. They're doing this thing with her and Jade where she's like looking at her and they might I don't know. Jade might start a group and recruit her, or she might betray Michin. Like I said, you heard this first. I don't know if you heard this anywhere, but BFAB might attack Michin and betray her to be with Jade Cargill. She might start a team like, a group like how she did in AEW. Then we got Bianca Belair. That's a potential feud right there for Jade. What's going on with Bianca? Don't know. I mean, I know she had the whole knuckle thing going on, the injury. That's what it was. So maybe she's still dealing with it. Don't know. But let's bring her back. She may come back for the Royal Rumble. That'll be dope. Let's do that. And let's do this feud for WrestleMania. I'll be down for it. Definitely will be. Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy / Uncle Howdy. Okay, he got his group. They have the tag team titles. He has this thing going on with Solo. So it's like a group warfare thing going on between the MFKs. Is it the MFKs, right? MFJs or the MFKs, whatever the hell they're called. I'm sorry, I forget. Too much wrestling and too much content that I do that I'm just like, I'm close enough, I guess. Yeah, they got that going on with the Y6 and those guys, the MFKs or the MFJs, whatever the fuck they're called. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Candice LeRae, you could be doing so much. Keep her as a mid carder if you don't want to put her in the main event scene. Chelsea Green needs people to feud with or have people around her wrestling to want her belt. She's just farting around with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, just doing nothing. Moving on before I have a okay. Carmelo Hayes. Finally, they've been doing something with Carmelo Hayes. Tonight, I'm not gonna spoil it. Finally, they're doing something with him. So let's hope that they don't forget about him in 2 weeks or in a month. Let's just hope. because I'm gonna be naming the potential people who gonna be joining the SmackDown roster after I'm done naming the people on the roster. So it could be exciting. Okay, I mentioned. Okay, now we got Chelsea Green. She's the United States Women's Champion, and she's the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champion. Okay, what are we doing with her title? She's back in a like. Remember when I said going back to repeated feuds or repeating matches? She's going back with Julia. They're running that back, I guess. And it's like, dude, why? She lost, and then there's no one else for her to face. So you got heel versus heel, basically. Okay, that's what I mean by, your writing, your booking, and your storytelling. What are we doing? Get it together. Ridiculous. Cody Rhodes, he's the freaking WWE champion, and he keeps feuding with Drew. God, I just need Drew to win the belt already. Just let him win. Let him win the belt. Let him hold it for a little bit. I don't care. I mean, okay, I do care, but okay, even if Cody wins, let's do this. If they are gonna do this 3 stages of hell tonight, if they're gonna name that, let's just. All right, cool. We got something new between them, and then let's make something good out of it. And then if Drew loses, he loses. Let's move on. Turn him into a babyface after that. He's been a heel for a little bit, and it's not doing nothing for him. Let's change his character. Let's move on. Cody, get another feud. Let's keep it moving. Sorry. I like Cody Rhodes, but God, WWE, fix it. Damian Priest. He's now a main eventer because of him being the world champion. And again, if you don't want to keep him in the world title scene, put him in the mid card scene. He's won the United States Championship before, but keep him in the main event scene because you need more main eventers. He's one of those guys because he's feuding with Aleister Black. Like I said, you can have Aleister Black be a main eventer without having him win the title or ever winning it. I mean, I wish he could win it. He's good, but keep him in that main card scene and have him win, lose. Have people to like. It's like UFC. People are gonna win and people are gonna lose. You have a top 10 rank scene, all right, where the champion has like 9 other people to fight. It's a top 10 thing. Do the same thing for wrestling. What is so hard about it? Dude, have your top 10 people. Number 1 is the champion. The other 9 is people who's fighting to get to that champion. Why can't we do that? God, it's not that hard. Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, part of the Y6. They're the champions. Again, they've defended it a couple times, but again, it's still mediocre to me. I don't know how a lot of you feel. I love the Y6. I love that they're doing this thing, you know, keeping the Bray Wyatt thing alive. But I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Put a little bit of more in it. Some more juice into it. Come on, the tag team division needs more juice into it again. I don't know. They need to fix that tag team division. Okay, now Drew McIntyre. Again, do something with him. Even if he doesn't win the belt, put him in a babyface role. Let's change it up. Let's just change something for him. Let's move on. I've already said what I had to say. Don't want to keep repeating myself. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Elton Prince is hurt. So Kit Wilson, he's doing the singles run, but he only had like 1 match, right? That's it. And then he's not on TV anymore. I don't know what happened to him. So whatever. Moving on. Hopefully when he comes back, they do something. Eric Rowan, part of the Y6. He's the muscle. So moving on. Julia. Already said what I had to say about that. She's back with Chelsea Green doing that. So, all right. Ilya Dragunov. They're doing something with him. He came back after he got hurt. So, he's the United States champion. For now. Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah. He brought back the open challenge. He continued it off of Sami Zayn. But cool. Let's keep it going with Carmelo Hayes too, please. And let's put Ilya also in the main event scene. He deserves to be there. All right? Just saying. Jacob Fatu, he needs to come back. Like, my God, he needs to come back. Let him be a part of that main event scene also. Like I said, we need more main eventers. So I've already put a couple guys in there to be in the main event scene. Jade Cargill, she's the WWE Women's Champion. Build some people around her, please. Let's just do that. Okay? Please. JC Mateo, part of the MFKs or MFJs, whatever the hell they're called. I don't know why I can't get the name right. But yeah, he's just part of the group and he's the tag team, I guess. Whatever. Moving on. That's how much I care, I guess. Jimmy Uso, he's flip flop against Raw and SmackDown. So he's teaming back with Jay. It's exciting for the Raw division. I hope they, put some juice into that because they need it. But yeah. So that's good for him. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, tag team. Again, they've been doing this whole thing with Ilya, chasing him, messing with him. And then they had a tag team between Ilya and Carmelo. Now let's just do this thing with Nathan Frazier and Axiom, please. Let's get with that now and get that over with. And like I said, build the tag team division. You can also have a top 10 also for the. You should have a top 10 for every division. Women, men, tag team, mid card. We have enough people on the roster. Do something. Make us care about this stuff, please. Kevin Owens, he's hurt, and I can't wait till he comes back. Jesus, do I miss him. Kiana James, she's a manager for Julia. Moving on. Lash Legend and Nia Jax, they're in a tag team for the moment. And like I said, they did this, just to boost up that tag team, that women's tag team division. Let's get some more girls down there in NXT or anywhere else that are actual tag teams, and let's build a tag team. It's okay to put these people together. You're putting some juice into it, so I don't mind that. Michin, she's doing this thing with Jade. She's not gonna win the belt, to be honest with you. She was doing the whole thing in the mid card scene. You can put her in the mid card scene. You can flip flop her from mid card to main event scene. You can honestly do that. Have her flip flop between either two, and then one day maybe being champion, probably mid card more. To be honest with you, not saying she's not good, but it's the way WWE's booking her. The Miz, he's just becoming this gatekeeper kind of guy, losing to all the uppercomers. Javon Evans, Joe Hendry, even though he's not like a young buck, but you know what I mean. The Miz is just losing everybody. He's like a new Dolph Ziggler, which is not a bad thing. I mean, he's still the Miz. Nikki Cross, part of the Y6. She's not doing anything, not even wrestling, not doing nothing, just jumping on the guys and going crazy and just being creepy. That's her role, I guess. Whatever. Piper Niven, she's hurt. Moving on. R-Truth, being R-Truth. They were doing something with him, and then again just said, let's just go back to him being R-Truth, being funny R-Truth. Okay. Randy Orton. He's been away. He's been doing a lot of promoting for the Royal Rumble. Saudi Arabia, kind of weird. They didn't have him for the John Cena, last time is now pay-per-view, or even a part of the thing. I mean, they already had their match, and they were never going to do that again, so I'm kind of fine with that, but, come on. Whatever. Rey Fenix. Apparently, he's supposed to be joining up with his brother again, with Penta, forming a tag team over at Raw. So, I hope they do that. Again, you have the Usos, you have the Lucha Brothers, you have the New Day, you have the Judgment Day, you have AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. There you go. You got the War Raiders. You got some tag teams over there. So let's just juice it up a little bit more over there. So I'm kind of liking what's gonna happen. Roman Reigns, don't know why he's listed as SmackDown. He's really more on Raw. So I don't know. That's something they need to update. Sami Zayn, what is he doing? The last time we saw him was like the whole thing with Solo, and they were doing the Survivor Series thing. Yeah, don't know what happened. Santos Escobar, he signed a new contract, and yeah, don't know. Moving on. Shinsuke Nakamura, he was also part of that traditional Survivor Series team. Now he disappeared again. Solo Sikoa, he's doing something with the Wide Six, feuding with Bo Dallas. So, yep. Talatunga, he's the muscle. Tamatunga, he was looking at Ilya Dragunov's belt for a while and then just kept looking at him and just kept doing nothing about it. Maybe he'll get the belt sometime soon. I don't know. Tiffany Stratton. Didn't know she was hurt. She's listed as hurt, which is interesting. I know she. I know they were doing this whole thing that she was hurt, but I didn't know she was actually hurt. So that's interesting. Tongaloa. Him and JC Mateo. I guess they're a tag team now. So okay. Zelina Vega. She's with Aleister Black as a manager type role. And that's the roster. Now, the potential people that could be coming to SmackDown. Obafemi is one of those guys, and I hope he does end up on SmackDown because of the match he had with Cody. Juice up that main event scene with a young guy like that. Let him take over, but let him take over the United States title. Let him do what he did with the North America title. It's okay to repeat things like that over NXT to the main roster. Let him do that. Those things we accept because now it's something he did before, but something new. It's a different title with different people. Let him dominate everybody up until he loses it to a good babyface or heel, because he can be a tweener. He's good at that. And then after that, let him go for the world title. Booking 1-on-1. Joe Hendricks will be a good fit for SmackDown. I feel like he'll be a good fit. Definitely could do that. Trick Williams. Again, don't want to spoil anything, but he had a little face-to-face with someone. So, let's see how that goes. And then Javon Evans, I think they might keep him more on the Raw side. Hell, if you want to put all of them on SmackDown, I would not complain. But then shift some SmackDown people to like Raw, so then we can have, freshen up a little bit. I need to freshen up the rosters too, and switch up people from heel to face and face to heel. And put some young, like I said, some young people in the rosters. But yeah, definitely got some new people who are ready in NXT. Definitely can move up to Raw and SmackDown. Make us care. Put a top 10. Look, listen. Make good matches. That's another thing. Stop doing disqualifications. You can do roll-ups here and there. It happens. It's wrestling. But to do it 3-4 times in a row sometimes, and then disqualifications 2 or 3 times in a night, dude, and distractions. What are we doing? SmackDown, WWE, Paul, do better. It's like ridiculous. You're doing the same thing over and over again. I think I made my point here on what they need to do and what needs to be fixed. Who am I? I'm nobody. They're not even going to see this video. Who the hell cares what I say, right? Hell, somebody who's watching SmackDown probably thinks everything is fine. And it's like, oh, I like it. But people who actually care and actually who has a brain will probably be like, yeah, dude, you make a lot of sense. Yes, I know I do. And there's a lot of people that went, that wrote on my TikTok and said, oh, WWE just sucks in general. If they suck, why are they freaking richer than God? Why are they selling out tickets still? Why are they still doing great business with people? They don't suck. It's just what they do is they're a moment making company. They're not like AEW where they're all about the matches. AEW is not really big on moments. They're good at matches and just making history. They have their moments here and there, but there is just moments. They're just moments. They have good matches too. I'm not gonna sit here and say they don't. They definitely do. It's just not AEW level kind of wrestling. But that's the different identities between the two. You have the moment making company and you have the wrestling company. The actual wrestling company. They're a wrestling company too, WWE, but they're more on the entertaining side, which is also good. But yeah, that's my take on what they should fix. Like, subscribe. You can find me everywhere, J.Bullett. If you want to see my TikTok videos, I do quick recaps. I sometimes talk about big things that happen after the shows. And, like I said, you can find me everywhere, J.Bullett. If you're interested in any other content I do, if you like gaming, I do that as well. I'm starting a podcast soon. Yeah, like I said, like and subscribe, J.Bullett out. And what do you guys think? Write down in the comments. And I see you guys next time.